So you've either seen the meme or heard it said that no one is full of more false hope than a mom with a new chore chart. That's true, but let me show you what's working, at least for the moment, in our home. If you're new here, I'm Rian, a Christ-following wife and a homeschool mom to 3 boys. Here we talk all things homeschool, and we will learn together how to use our roles as wife, mom, teacher, and homemaker in order to glorify God. So I stopped fooling myself a long time ago that there was some perfect chore chart out there. I mean, if it really does exist, someone please fill me in, but I really don't think it does. But I have found that there are different charts and systems for different seasons. And so the season that we're currently in is we have a 11-year-old boy, a 9-year-old boy, a 4-year-old boy, and a 9-month-old baby who can't help with anything. So we have kind of different ages and stages. And so there's a lot of training still happening here. And so this is how we're kind of tackling this year. So I've always heard of doing zone cleaning. So everyone has their own area that they're responsible for. And I always liked that idea, but my kids were just never quite at the right age for it. So before, we've done like certain days were certain rooms instead of each one had their own room to work with. Mondays were for laundry and everyone would just pitch in and get a bunch of laundry done. Tuesdays was the kitchen, Wednesdays was the bathroom, and so on and so forth. And everyone just had jobs within that area, which worked for a season. It really did. But everyone at this point was just kind of like clamoring on top of one another inside these said areas. And, you know, so we tried, okay, you do them in the morning and you do your spot in the afternoon. It just got really confusing and messy. So that no longer works for us, but it really did work well for a season. But I feel like now we are at a spot where we can try the zone cleaning, and we are now almost a full month in, and I am loving it, you guys. It's taking a lot of work from me because I'm having to train, but that would have had to happen anyway. And so with our rotation that we used before, where each day was just a different room, I just always gave the youngest the easiest jobs and the oldest the hardest jobs. But we were just kind of stuck there. Like the younger ones weren't graduating up to those harder tasks very well. And so with zones, this kind of forces me to do the training, which, like I said, is not easy, but it's going to pay off in the long run because it always does. So I have the house broken down into 3 zones. There are more than 3 zones in my house, obviously, but every other zone is kind of just see a need, meet a need, or it is a Saturday deep clean day and mama says, do this, and you're just going to do it. So that also doesn't include bedrooms. Bedrooms are a daily thing. Everyone has to clean their own room at some point during the day. And then we also have after meal routines, which are not part of the zone cleaning. And we also have 10-minute tidies, which are not part of this. So I'm talking just 3 areas, which is bathrooms, kitchens, and living areas. Now everyone has their zone for 1 month, and they have jobs that they have to do daily. They have jobs that they have to do weekly, and then they have a big job that they have to do monthly. And so let me start with the living room. This is currently my 4-year-old's zone. And so basically I'm doing this zone, but we're doing it together. I'm doing most of the actual work, but I am training him. So when we first started a month ago, he had never messed with the vacuum sweeper at all. And we have 2 vacuums. One, I'm pretty much the only one in my house that can use it aside from my husband. It's just big and it's Hyla. And so it's one of those like water vacs. So there's just a lot of moving pieces and you have to kind of like work your way up into using that. But we have a Shark stick vac that isn't super light, but it's light enough to where at the beginning of the month, he had never even touched it. And now he can sweep all of the stairs. So part of his job as a living area is the stairways, because we have a dog who sheds. And so that is just a collector spot for that pet hair and for all the dust that my kids bring in from outside, because we do have a lot of dirt in our backyard. And so he can detach the stick back and use the handheld part, and he's worked up enough practice and enough strength, upper body strength, that he can do the whole set of stairs now. I'm also training him how to actually vacuum the living room and the homeschool room. That's our other living area. And he's not quite tall enough to do it, but he's practicing and he's helping me move furniture and clean around the furniture and stuff like that. And then he also just helps, pick stuff up in these areas right now. So that's it daily, just vacuuming and picking up. So weekly, this is every Saturday. He has to clean the windows and dust. And so dust everything in the living room and the schoolroom, and in the stairway, which is, you know, the handrails and stuff like that. And then clean all the windows. And then monthly, so the last Saturday of the month, typically that can shift a little bit if we have something else going on. But this is when he will get down and scrub baseboards, just a wet wash rag or a magic eraser, and just scrub those nitty gritty places. We will move all of the furniture. We kind of move footstools and stuff, but we will pull out all the furniture and do a deep clean behind all of it. And then we also will polish the furniture. We have some older pieces that just kind of get a little foggy, weird looking if we don't use furniture polish on them every once in a while. Our second zone is the kitchen. Right now, my second son is doing this, so he is just about to be 9. And daily he has to wipe off the counters, spray it with some microban, wipe them off. Obviously, he'll have to declutter them if there's stuff in the way. He has to unload the dishwasher in the morning and kind of load it as needed if there's stuff that needs to be put in there. Everyone's supposed to load their own stuff after meals, but it doesn't always happen. So if there's stuff in there, he is responsible for putting it in the dishwasher, and then he has to sweep the floors. As far as weekly, he wipes the cabinets down, so the front of the cabinets, specifically those lower ones that get kid stuff all over them, and he has to clean the windows, which we have like a big glass sliding door, and he has to clean the appliances, so the front of the dishwasher and the oven and the fridge. And then he has to help me mop. Again, this is something he's never had to do before, but I'm training him so that he does become good at it. Our first go, he didn't do a whole lot. He did some, but it was mostly observing and me just kind of talking him through it. And then monthly, he has to help, or whoever is on kitchen duty has to help completely empty out the fridge and scrub it down. And same with the pantry, just, you know, throw away stuff that doesn't need to be in there, wipe it out, all that good stuff. And then lastly, we have bathroom chores. This is where my oldest son's zone is for this month. And daily he has to go through with Clorox wipes and wipe off all the counters and all the sinks and all of the faucets. And same with the toilet area. He has to, you know, wipe around the outside, the handle, you know, they're boys, so there's enough to wipe there. Weekly, he has to do the mirrors and scrub the toilet, like inside, like do the deep clean of the toilet. He has to scrub the shower and sweep the floors and take out the trash. And then monthly, again, it's those nitty gritty baseboards, and he has to mop. So far, this is really working really well. Again, it's work for me because I'm training, but it's ensuring that I'm actually doing the training and not just letting everyone stall out kind of where they are. So if you're stuck in a chore rut, maybe this is something that you should try out. So let me know what system you are currently using, or you can check out my Sabbath homeschool schedule. I'll talk to you next time. Bye. So I've always heard of doing, you know, zones sheet.